is 5 o'clock. We are live. We are just getting started. Just getting started this evening. I'll wait a couple of minutes. I'll wait a couple minutes to see who jumps on, making sure you can see me, making sure you can hear me. My name is Cheryl Hazer. I'm a cleaning business coach and also a cleaning business owner, an active cleaning business owner. And I go live every week on Wednesday without fail, except for a couple of holidays and things like that. So I'm going to click on in another URL and see if anyone, let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. I have one person there jumping on. I can see who's jumping on. Say hi. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. If you're jumping on for the first time, say hello. I have one viewer here. Wait a couple more minutes for people to jump on. So if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is Sisters Who Scale. This is a page for cleaning business owners where we train about things, anything having to do with hiring, raising your prices, cleaning, growing your management teams, creating your sales packages, and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Janet. How are you? Okay, cool. That's all I need to know is if everyone can hear me and things like that. So I'll wait another minute. Just so all of you know, if you're tuning in for the first time, like I said, I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I help cleaning business owners grow their cleaning businesses. I help people overcome their mindset issues, which 50% of it is mindset, helping you grow your teams. And I teach you my methods for sales strategies to charge premium prices, which give you premium profits to grow a healthy cleaning business no matter where you want to take it. I work with people that just want to scale to 250,000 a year, some to 500, and we take it all the way up to seven figures. I took my own company from zero to over 750,000 a year, and I'm still growing. And I teach you my methods on what I do in my cleaning business. I no longer clean. I have not cleaned for a while. I'm still an active owner, like I said, and I dedicate the rest of my time to helping other cleaning business owners around the country, in the U.S., in different countries as well. So welcome, everyone. Hi, Kelly. Hey, April. So let's get into it. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. You can catch me live and you can see all the other amazing cleaning business owners in the group too, because everyone's friendly. So tonight's training is about what undercharging is really costing your cleaning business, right? So in the competitive cleaning industry, many business owners fall into the dangerous trap of undercharging, and it's very common when you first start, right? So in the beginning, it seems like a strategy to win clients, right? I get that. Put money in your pocket. But this approach over time creates a devastating domino effect that can ultimately destroy your business. So this training today is going to explore the true cost of undercharging and why it's impossible to build a sustainable cleaning business with rock bottom prices. So wouldn't you rather get the information than go years without knowing that you're not charging enough, which I have seen multiple times. So if anyone wants to take notes, I definitely encourage taking notes because this is some information that you all need to know. So, okay, so let's talk about the insurance and operating cost crisis. So if you're undercharging, you have a basic math problem, right? Some of us weren't that good in math, right? So you have a basic math problem. So let's talk about the costs associated with running a small cleaning business, because some of you are operating small, but you're not going to be there forever. So general liability insurance, which usually you have to carry a policy of up to $1 million. That's usually like the basic standard, whatever. That's going to cost you $100 to $200 a month, depending on what state you're in. So you want to write that down. You get GL, general liability. Then you have something called workers' comp. Depending on how many people you have, this could cost you $300 to $600 a month because you have to cover people. So some states allow you to have 3 people. Some states allow you to have 5 people before you have to actually get a workers' comp claim. I do recommend taking advantage of this to save some money when you're operating small. It's definitely a great thing. Massachusetts, I'm not that lucky over here. Texas, you don't have to have workers' comp insurance. So those ladies like Kelly and April that are in Texas, you don't have to have it. Should you have it when you grow to a certain level? That's completely up to you, but you'd never get in trouble. Okay. So vehicle insurance, that's going to cost you about 150 to 300, depending on, if you have company cars. You have equipment and supplies that could be 500 to 1,000 a year. Your software management tools, what are those things? Things that help you grow. Jobber, ZenMaid, Payroll, Gusto, which is your payroll app, which I recommend. So that's going to cost you anywhere between 100 and 250 maybe. Your payroll software is going to cost you more. It's going to cost you about 300 and something dollars a month. Your marketing, if you're paying for ads, which some of you are, $300 to $500 a month. Your office/storage space, $500 to $1,000 a month. So, do you guys see where I'm going with this? Say yes if you see where I'm going with this. Hi, Katrina. I'm so nice to see you. We're talking about discounting. So let's keep going. So the risk reality is this. Operating without proper insurance coverage is, number one, dangerous. Number two, in some states, illegal, right? You have to have general liability. Without the bare minimum, you have to have that. One accident, one claim could bankrupt your business. I had one of my girls walked into a house and got bit by a pit bull about 4 months ago. I did a quick little video on it that I posted on ZenMaid. True story. She got bit on the leg, still has a scar. Went to the hospital. That's a workers' comp claim. If I didn't have workers' comp, I would have been, you know what, screwed, right? Screwed. So insurance is what you need. Clients are increasingly requiring proof of insurance because clients are getting wise. They want to know. They want to know if you're insured, if anything happens, right? I never thought in a million years one of my staff members was going to get bit by a dog. Right? It's never happened in all the years I've been operating. So equipment replacement and maintenance become impossible if you don't have extra money. I just sent a vacuum out to get fixed. It was $60 to get that vacuum fixed. So you're going to need extra capital. You're going to need extra money coming in. So the downward spiral to all of this, right? So when you cannot afford proper insurance and some operating costs, you're forced to operate in legally gray areas. Now you're in treacherous breakdown, right? I'm not saying something's going to happen all the time, but what if it does? Right? If your equipment breaks down, you don't have the money to fix it. Now you got crappy equipment. You're going and getting cheap equipment to work with. You can't invest in proper tools and products. Every minor setback becomes a major crisis for you, and you're always operating in the red. You cannot clean a house for $90, for $100, for $110. You cannot operate in the red like that. This making sense? So it's stressful, and you're always in crisis mode. You're always in crisis mode. So that was number one. That was the insurance and the operating cost crisis. Number two. What's number two? The staff compensation dilemma. Let's talk about the staff. So everyone wants to pay as little as possible. I get that. I'm in the same boat as all of you, right? But here are the true costs of low wages. So your industry average, pretty much across the board in every state and in Canada, Katrina's in Canada, is $15 to $20 an hour, depending. California's 20. Over here, minimum wage in Massachusetts is 15, but our staff is expecting to get paid more than $15 an hour. Some of the southern states can get away with paying $15, $16 an hour, and that feels comfortable for them because their cost of living is less. So everything's going to be relative in every state you have. But you need quality staff. So you need to offer your staff to do a good job, to show up, to keep coming back to work, like 17 to 25 an hour, depending on your area. Now, that number can include tips. So if your clients are giving tips, that's not all coming out of your pocket, okay? So, but your hourly has to fall somewhere in there. Some states need to offer health insurance. Then you have a benefit package consideration. If this is a concern for your state, you have to keep this in mind. Health insurance, then you have paid time off after they've been with you after so many, months. Or up here, it's 90 days. Over here, we do sick days, and they have so many sick days, but they have to be with us 90 days. They start to get paid for holidays after a year. Okay, so those things you have to pay for. You have to pay salaries when you're not working. So now you guys kind of understand like why you need to charge a little bit more. Let me check in. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Yeah, seriously, right? Yeah, right. Seriously. So, okay. So now that is a problem. So what's going to happen when you have inadequate compensation? You're going to have high turnover rates. When people can't afford to pay their bills, you're going to have high turnover rates, right? The industry average is 200%, right? Yeah. That's only if you're doing it incorrectly. And there's a lot of people that are doing it incorrectly. And that's part of the reason why I train on what I train and I help you. So, unreliable staff attendance, you're going to get call outs, you're going to get no shows, you're going to get people to quit. People are going to stay a month. They're going to say, I'm not making this much money. I got to quit. And then you're going to have increased management time dealing with staff issues. You're going to redo the schedule, right? This is going to cause you a lot of stress. And this is what a lot of owners realize after they've been doing it a while and they haven't doing it, maybe not so correctly, right? Now you're going to have client dissatisfaction due to inconsistent service. You have to keep up canceling, right? You have to keep canceling due to lack of staff, rather. So when you're solo and you're not charging enough, you're going to have these problems, or you're just going to have these problems. So your recruitment costs, and I'm not sure if anyone is aware of this, are usually in between 200 to 500 per hire. The time you spend on Indeed, the time that you account for your time reading the interviews, the resumes rather, doing the interviews, doing the training, right? That's all going to cost you money. Your training time, you're going to put at least 20 to 30 hours in per new hire. That's usually about a week, maybe even longer, to 2 weeks. Your lost productivity, which means you're going to have higher labor rates when you're training. This is why I recommend trying to find people with experience, because you'll train less. Admin costs for hiring, firing, and then if you have a constant turnover, you have damage to team morale. And this is probably one of the most damaging ones out of all of them, because your staff gets disheartened. They get like, oh, who's coming in this time? Are they going to stay? Are they going to leave? Right? This can be damage to your business. Okay, this is making sense. Say if this is making sense. Say makes sense. Just let me know you're here. We had a lot of people register for this. I think right now we're in maybe like the rush before Thanksgiving. So, okay, number 3 is quality compromises. When everyone's rushing, now you're charging whatever Susie Smith $100 to clean her house. You're going to get in and out of that house fast, otherwise you're not making a profit, and you know that. So now becomes the issue of the time quality trade-off, right? You have your professional cleaning standards. Your proper deep cleaning is 3 to 4 hours on an average home. Your basic bi-weekly reoccurring on an average home is an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours max on a home. That's just what 2 people know. Okay. So now you have to rush. Otherwise you're not going to make money, because now you're hiring someone and you're going to pay them. So now you see why your wages have to be higher, because you have to pay people and pay insurance and things like that were on the list. So what this can do is this can cause you to have a 60% reduction in thoroughness. And what's going to happen when that happens? You're going to get complaints. You're going to have missed spots. Details are going to get missed. Your customers complain, and then your customers are going to quit, right? Or even worse, If you're moving too fast, right, and you're whipping around with the vacuum, there's a higher risk for property damage. There's more physical strain on staff, on yourself if you're cleaning, and there's lost referral opportunities. So this now becomes a bad domino effect. And this is what a lot of cleaning business owners, they struggle with all these daily things. I know you struggle with all these daily things if you're not charging enough, because that was me, right? That was me. Now, let's talk about one more thing that's even worse: your reputation impact. So you get a negative review. We all hate bad reviews. We all know that. 1 stars, right? We've all had them, right? So they're going to cost you 5 to 10 potential new clients. When someone reads a bad review that was fresh, that was new, they're going to skip over you and go to the next company. So it does you no good to undercharge. You're better off charging premium prices, having a nice sales package like we create in the Drop the Mock program. We do all this, your own customized sales package for your business. That's going to show that you have value, right? Perception of value is what someone says. You know what? This company looks like they look really good. They look really professional. I like this sales package. I'm going to go with them. They will pay more for that because you have a nice presentation, right? It's all perception is reality when you're selling cleaning services, okay? So word of mouth damage in local communities, like your Facebook groups, like your towns, like whatever, they're going to be like, oh, they rush and I fired them and I got someone else. So this is affecting you down the line, right? This is affecting your ability to get those high paying clients. And then you're going to have difficulty raising prices later, which is the problem. So you want to protect your reputation now in the beginning and layer everything perfect before it's too late. Has any of this stuff happened to any of you? I'm going to check in. Has any? Hi, Janet. Janet Glidden. Janet Glidden's raising her prices. Has any of this stuff ever made sense to any of you? Right? Any of you make sense to this? So let me know. If this stuff has happened to you, let me know. Give us an example too, because I always like hearing what you're experiencing. I know it's happened to some of you. I'm just waiting for you guys to write in the chat if it's happened or not. I cut my finger so bad, like 30 minutes before I had to get ready for this. Like, it's bad. Never open an Amazon package with the pair of scissors. I cut my finger with the pair of scissors. Anyways, all right, let's move on here. So let's talk about your company culture and your retention, okay? So the cultural cost of low margins, right? That's the title. So you're unable to invest in team building things when you don't have any money, like lunches, Christmas parties, Christmas tree. I just bought a Christmas tree for the office, right? You don't have resources for that. This is all, resources for staff development. All those fun things is what develops the staff and what keeps the staff with you for a long time. You may have difficulty creating recognition programs, no funding for bonuses. How are you going to pay bonuses out if you're operating in the red? You can't, right? You can't. Minimal workplace improvements, printers break, computers break. You need stuff for that, okay? Even if you're running it out of your house, you still need costs like that. So it becomes more and more difficult if you don't have the profit margins to do things like that and actually grow your company, because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to grow their companies to the point where they can sell them one day. You cannot sell your company if it's not making a profit. No one's going to want to buy it. I should do a training on that. I should do a training on how to set your company up, not to sell, but how to get it ready for when you want to sell it 10 years on the road. What you need to do. You guys would be in shock. Half the stuff that you guys are doing, you can't do. Anyways, so, all right, let's talk about retention. Staff retention. This is one of the biggest problems in the industry. People have a hard time retaining people to work. Katrina knows it. Janet Baker knows it, right? I all know that you know it. More of you know it. How many here are having a problem retaining staff? Let's see, retaining staff. Thank you, Jelena / April. Oh, I appreciate that. I try and be open and honest. I want to help you all. I do. I want to help you all grow and make money and stuff like that. It's very important. It's very important that, we all band together as a tribe and, grow, right? Grow and thrive and, start charging what you're worth and stop devaluing your services. Very important, especially as women, right? Especially as women. So the average retention for cleaning business staff is 3 to 6 months. That is terrible. You're lucky if it's 6 months, right? Your cost per lost employee is in between $2,500 and $5,000, depending. It's going to impact your client relationships because your clients are going to get used to the same cleaners coming. You know how that is. Again, we're going to have team morale deterioration. If people keep quitting, staff get nervous that you don't know what you're doing as a leader, right? Now, you can avoid things like people's lives change. People get pregnant. They decide they don't want to clean anymore because they get pregnant. It's happened to me. They move away. They move in with a boyfriend. All that stuff happens. You can't avoid stuff like that, right? So don't beat yourself up if that stuff happens. It's not your fault. You can't do anything different when people's lives change, right? What you can do in the beginning is learn how to be a really good interviewer so you can pick up if someone has a train wreck of a life. That's different, right? That's one of the things I teach. It's how to figure out in your interview who is a liability, who's a train wreck, and who you shouldn't hire, right? Because if you hired that train wreck person, chances are you're going to have problems. Chances are you're not going to retain them, right? Or chances are they're going to, whatever, move away. Oh, I think I'm going to move to North Dakota or whatever they're doing, right? So everyone forgets about this. Everyone forgets about you, right? You forget about you. You forget about you, the owner compensation, the forgotten salary, right? The fact that you can't take a paycheck. Right? How many times have you said, that's okay, I don't need to take a paycheck this week. You need to take some sort of a paycheck. It may not be the same thing every week, but you need to take something home. So, the personal cost of this is when you're not charging enough, you don't allow yourself to have personal financial security. That's the reality. You're unable to save for retirement. You can't take a vacation. You're constantly stressed out over money, right? This is going to affect your family, your husbands, your wives, your kids, your parents, if they're living with you, whoever's around you, right? And then cleaning all the time ultimately leads to the breakdown of your body. So eventually you have to get staff. Or, you can do it for a little while. I did it for a little while, cleaning. I did it for a little while. But you can't do it forever. So the business impact of owner poverty is you're unable to invest in your growth, like we talked about. You'll get a limited marketing budget. You can't spend money on professional development. Every serious CEO that's ever tried to scale a company has invested in professional help. That's how they grow. No one's born with all the answers, right? You won't have the money to pay for networking opportunities like women's empowerment groups and BNI and stuff like that. Then you're unable to hire management staff to help you with the business because you can't do everything, right? Hey, Raquel, how are you, girl? How do I say your name? We're meeting tomorrow. We have a call. Ninoska. That's pretty if you say it like that, Ninoska. Because you weren't charging enough. Yeah, I knew you weren't charging enough, but hopefully that's changing. Hopefully that's changing. It totally affects your sleep because you wake up thinking about stuff like that. Just know, April, that you're not alone with that stuff. April Jelena. She's got 2 names. If you guys are confused why I'm calling her April. Okay. And then it just becomes impossible to scale, basically, right? Because you don't have any capital for expansion. You have no money left over. after you pay the staff. So what's the point of ever running a cleaning business? There's not. And that's why so many owners quit, because they don't learn the valuable skills to grow it. And then all of a sudden they're in crisis and overwhelm and stuff like that, right? So, and then you have your competition factor. You can't compete with larger companies. You have limited service offerings, and you don't have your USP, right? What's USP stand for? Your unique. Is that my phone? That's my phone ringing. Decline that one. That was a telemarketer. And then you don't have your unique selling proposition. Your USP, unique selling proposition, right? You're stuck in a small client base and you cannot grow. You cannot grow. So, okay, let's talk about how we break free in this. Enough of the negative stuff. How do you break free? How do you set sustainable prices, right? Okay, I'm going to give you some strategies. So, calculating sustainable rates. You're going to factor in, if you want to write these down, you can. Factor in your labor costs, including taxes and benefits if you have them. You're going to write down your operating expenses. I'll go slow. You're going to write down any marketing expenses, any sales expenses, any management overhead. And then the most important is your profit margin. You need to write in 15 to 20% profit into your company, because you need to take a paycheck. So those are the things that you need to do. So these are your calculating sustainable rates are labor costs, operating expenses, marketing and sales, any management overhead, and your profit margin, which is 20%. So what's the strategy? Once you write all those things down, what is the strategy? So you just want to analyze your current costs that you have now, big or small, whatever it is, calculate the required margins, set appropriate rates with the 3 to 5% cushion, okay? You want to communicate value to your clients as your prices increase. You have to communicate value to them by saying, "Hi, Brad Pitt. This is Katrina from Strong Arm Cleaning." I'm just making it up. "This is Katrina from Strong Arm Cleaning, and you have to increase your prices." And you need to tell them why you're increasing your prices. So you communicate that the value that you give, your company gives to each client, is a reason for the price increase. And this is very important, and it has to be done in a good way. And everyone always apologizes in the letter, and you never want to apologize in the letter, right? So communicate the value. You're going to gradually increase them, but then at the same time you have to focus on quality delivery. So if they're going to be paying more, they need to see that your service is really good, right? That you're sending on my way text messages, that you're doing all those things. And that's how you over time build premium service offerings. That's how you build your reputation, right? Making sense here? Making sense? So you're going to calculate your minimum hourly rate, whatever that is, to your staff. You're going to work on your package pricing strategies, right? You can create some add-ons too, like you can do a basic clean, you can do a deep clean, you can do oven add-ons, refrigerator add-ons, window cleaning add-on, things like that, seasonal add-ons, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of things you can add to your cleaning business just beyond residential and commercial cleaning business. There are other things you can do to add on additional revenue, and that'll be a different training for a different day, okay? And so let me see if there's any questions. Oh, good. I love to hear that, Raquel. I love to hear that. Cool. That's so cool. Is this all making sense? Did anyone give me any examples? Ninoska has trouble gaining staff. Anyone else have trouble gaining staff? I know Katrina was struggling too. Yep, Katrina was struggling. I love to hear that, Raquel. Thank you. Thank you. So this is how you do it. This is why you need to charge $160, $180 for a bi-weekly clean. That's, $190. No more $100. That's over. I don't care what state you're in. That's just too low, right? Too low. But you can't offer high premium prices if you don't have a premium service for one, if you don't have a premium sales package, and if you don't exude the value so your client, your potential client, will actually pay for it. This is a big thing that we work on in the Drop Them Off program. The ladies that have gone through it know because they've done it. Kelly Jenkins is a perfect example. She did Drop Them Off. She's on this call tonight. Then she joined Sisters Elite, came to a retreat. She started in one state, one county, not county. She started in one city in Texas, had to move to another one, started another one, hired two staff right off the bat, and she's doing amazing. But she has everything she needs to grow. She showed up to class, right? She did all that stuff. She did all that stuff. So basically, the conclusion is this: undercharging isn't just about money. It's about the very survival of your business, right? The choice between charging sustainable rates or continuing to undercharge is really a choice between building a real business or managing a perpetual crisis. Your clients, your team, and your family deserve that so you can thrive, not just survive, right? So you have to remember your quality service requires proper funding. Your professional staff need professional wages. Your business stability requires proper margins. Your growth requires investment capital, and your expertise deserves fair compensation. Okay? So take action today on something to break free from the undercharging cycle and build the profitable, sustainable cleaning business that you deserve. So if any of you on this call tonight, or if you're watching this on replay, if you're struggling with raising your prices, you don't know how, you're afraid to offend your clients, you and I should have a chat. I've helped hundreds of cleaning business owners raise their prices, grow their teams, get profitable, and on their way to scaling 6 and 7 figures, okay? But it all starts with analyzing your current situation, seeing where you're at. I call this ground zero. Creating a customized strategy for you that will get you out of that rut, out of that overwhelm and crisis that you're feeling every day, and get you going in the right direction. Let me talk about a few people that have worked with me. Victoria from my amazing, the Bay State of Massachusetts, Jones Castle Keepers. She just won an award for best cleaning company in her area. We started working together. She was making $8,500 a month. She just hit $25,000 a month, okay? And she just won that award. Gloria Paul from North Carolina went from running the business out of her home to an office, out of her comfort zone, where she's now on the leadership team of her BNI meeting, which is so out of what she would ever do, okay? And she is on her way to growing up to $35,000 a month in cleaning, where she wasn't doing that. I want to say she was at, I think we figured out she was at around $17,000 a month. She's been in the business for 13 years, right? She was at $17,000 a month. She now last month just hit $28,000, right? So she's on her way. Her goal is $35K a month. Then we have Leah Elizabeth from Tampa, went from cleaning 5 days a week to cleaning 0 days a week, right? These ladies came to class, showed up, did the work, asked the questions, did the homework, and that's why they're at where they are, right? They were all students and dropped them off, and now they're all part of Sisters Elite, which is the graduate program. So if this sounds like you, if you think you're a Victoria or a Leah or a Gloria, reach out, DM me, say drop them off. I'll reach out. We do a simple strategy call. I ask you a bunch of questions, see if you qualify. I don't work with everyone. I'm wanting to work with the people who really want it, who really want change. So if you are a go-getter, type drop them off, and I will reach out and see if you qualify, if you're ready to attack 2025 the way I'd like to see it for you. So let me see. Made it. You're welcome, Made It Cleaning. Hi, Laura. Can you touch on why charging hourly is limiting? I know someone charging $40 an hour, and she doesn't understand why that's not ideal. Oh, you mean like for herself, you mean, right? I personally don't like when cleaners go in and say I charge 40 an hour because if you don't have a routine of cleaning, let's say they want you in their house, you got a solo person, they want you in a house for 3 hours. So that's $120 if you're charging $40 an hour. If you're only in the house 2 hours and you finished what you did, they think that they can add things on like cleaning out the garage, folding the laundry, and they think that, well, since you're charging $40 an hour, you should be able to do this, this, and this. So they add on things. That's why I do flat rating. But, it's taken me a while to do flat rating. Well, not really a while. I mean, I know how to walk into a house, and if it's a 2.5 bath, 3 bedroom house, I know how to price that flat rate and not get burned and make it profitable because I've been doing that for so long. So I don't like the by the hour because okay, $40 an hour, fine. But now when you go to charge higher, when you go to charge $65 an hour per cleaner or whatever, and you tell them that your rate is $65 an hour per cleaner, and you're going to put 2 people in a house for an hour, $130 for the service, they don't like that. You don't want to give clients your inner pricing, right? That is my inner pricing, whatever it is. Mine's anywhere between $65 and $75 an hour, depending on the house, on the scope of work, if it's a deep clean or whatever. But that's up here. Like I said, every state's going to be different. You don't want to give them your secrets. So when people say, "Oh, do you charge by the hour?" You say, "No, you charge by the job. You charge by the flat rate." That's why I go and see in person all of my houses because I want to meet them. I want to sit with them. I want to develop a relationship with them. I want them to feel comfortable with me, my company, everything that we do, the sales package and all that stuff. That you have a much easier chance of selling that service, number one, but developing a relationship. Women build cleaning businesses different. Women build relationships. Okay, we're famous for doing it very, very good. That's why when you try and quote sight unseen and you have a hard time building a relationship, and that person on the other end is just making a choice based on price. And every cleaning business is different. We all know that. You all offer services. So yes, but she wants to have a company. I mean, is she solo cleaning herself? She won't be able to do it on $40 an hour. That's for sure. That's just a side hustle. So people confuse a side hustle with owning a company. There are two totally different things. Your pop-up cleaners that go and just, say I own a cleaning company. No, they really don't. They really don't. Unless you have a full-fledged staff, you don't own a cleaning company. You own a side hustle. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do a side hustle and you do a good side hustle, that's great. But that's not a company. I was side hustling. I was a side hustler in the beginning. Most of us were solo. I figured that. Yes, don't tell them you break down. Correct, Laura, because that's what happens. You don't want to justify them to the client because it puts you in a negative position, right? Puts you in a negative position where now they start asking you questions, they're picking apart everything. Everything needs to remain a mystery. No, we quote by the job. That's why, and then that's how you say that's why I come in and I take a look at the home. When I didn't look at homes, I'd get burned on profits and stuff. So we stopped doing that. But the main reason is that you'll have a higher chance of closing, right? If you say that word, you have a higher chance of closing if you're getting in person, right? That's a good question, Laura. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, ladies, have an amazing evening. Hope this helps. I hope this helped the people that are undercharging. I hope it helped you. And I will see. I actually will not see you next week because it is the night before Thanksgiving. And we're going to be cooking, and I'm not going to be doing a live. I will pop in next week to do an impromptu, little mini training. I don't know what day it's going to be or whatever, but there's no Wednesday live at 5 next week because it's the night before Thanksgiving. And you guys are all going to be cooking too, right? All right, ladies, have an amazing evening. I'll see you all soon.